episode 1 of the latest second season of No Concessions Sessions, episode 25, with Branden Martin. Music loving, whiskey writing lyrics, old dusty hippies, and pure country raw sound. I was listening to Kentucky Heartache today, dude. That is a very polished, well-produced recording. It sounds awesome. And then there's a song on that album, too. I'm sorry, I forget the name. The mandolin player is getting it going. Some really beautiful sounds. So I don't know how come nobody's ever played me that song before, because it belongs on a NASCAR commercial, belongs on a movie playlist or something. You know what I mean? That's a really good song, dude.
Thank you.
And it's on the 001. Is that the name of the?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What's 001 mean, Branden?
Well, we just kind of, everybody and their brother's kids has done a title track, and I didn't want to do that, and I kind of thought it was, I guess I almost stole it from Adele, maybe. She, like she's 19, 21, whatever her age is, that's what her album thing is, and I was like, well, I'll just call this is the first album, we'll call it 1, and then it's like, then inadvertently, most of those songs, out of 13, I think 11 of them were about drinking in some form or fashion. And since the release of that record, I've quit drinking. And so I was like, well, that's kind of like chapter 1. I'm working on chapter 2 now. So, the next one might be 2. We'll see what happens. So it's just kind of a mix of me being ornery and trying to do something that nobody else has done. Of course, I'm sure there's been some ones, but 001, I've never seen that before. That it leads to the illusion that there might be 100.
That's good. You set yourself up for a chronological.
Yeah.
I thought there was another record too. It says live, doesn't it?
So I've got a couple EPs out. The one before that one with the songs off of the album was live at Southern Ground. We did that one in Nashville too at the Southern Ground Studios, and it was had me, and each song had a different accompanying artist playing another instrument with me. Right. It was a lot of fun.
Wes Bayless is someone I met last year from the Steelwoods here, and I don't know what it is about my taste in music, but your voice and his voice, I like that sound, and in the songwriting world. But I see y'all did a song together too, somewhere, maybe just a live performance or something.
Yeah, I've played with them guys a handful of times. We here and there we've played a few songs together. I'm not sure what we've written some songs together in the past. Nothing that's recorded, but we've done some. Tried to work some things out and see where it goes. But
yeah, that song "Axe" that's one of the best songs I've ever heard.
That's a great
for sure.
Song.
And yeah, man. So, what is live about it? Just one cut recording, or what? Or I didn't hear any audience.
Oh, on the live at Southern Ground. So that was we were just pretty. It's pretty much like just one jumped in there. Me and I mean, we did a few different takes to see which one we liked the best. But we were sitting in a room, and we had some videos to go with those two. They're on YouTube. And so me and whoever I was sitting with, we just in there just playing a song like we'd sit in this room and just play a song. So.
Right. That's cool. Organic process, That's the beautiful thing about this music that, I see some of them, you get a lot of the in-ear monitors and a lot of the stage, sound setup and production, and some pre-production tracks, the drummers got to initiate and such. Mm-hmm. But it's about 90% raw. And then, like, tomorrow's David Peterson coming in here. He's an old bluegrass head. I think he needs maybe one amp mic and maybe one direct in or something very simple. Maybe the bass, I think, goes direct in. But then I get some cats in here, man, especially these metal bands and stuff. We got a lot of inputs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh, my God, go-go music. I don't know how many inputs that takes. That is a lot going on with all them instruments, That happens in July here. So we kind of, but I think that we have a really good niche, a good fit at the right time and the right place in history for us to get involved in the entertainment business, being where we're at here in this part of Virginia, being so close to West Virginia, not too far from Kentucky, East Tennessee, and Carolina to have a lot of really good organic regional talent that's, known around the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I had somebody call me today asking about the show tonight and saying, they were from up in Maryland. And they're traveling down just to see you.
Wow, that's great.
That was cool.
That's great.
So very, very fast growing market. What do you usually travel with a big band? I see you're doing a set tonight with just yourself there. What's the difference for tonight's experience?
It's just, depending on what the venues want or what's going on. Here recently, I've been doing a lot of shows just acoustic, and I think it's really cool because I get the opportunity to just be a kind of, not a part of the crowd, but I get to be with everybody rather than I'm not babysitting anybody, which, I don't babysit the band, but, I don't have to.
I understand.
I don't have to worry about what's going on up here. I can just focus on the audience and have a big time. And, if something goes wrong, I mess up, break a string, whatever, I get to cut up and joke with them and have a big time and just be involved with the whole experience, which I like a lot. And if I'm not, I love playing with bands. I love to do that. And of course, a lot of times the crowd responds a little bit better sometimes, or is more enthusiastic when they got some extra noise coming from the stage. But I feel like when I'm doing acoustic shows like this, I get to tell the stories and stuff with that come with songs without boring everybody, and then the band's not up here twiddling their thumbs while I'm jawing, so it's
sure. Definitely work on showmanship and crowd control. I think that if the real talent that exists in music history, with the exception of super producers, they can go into a coffee house and just have a guitar and be able to captivate an audience. Mm-hmm. And then you put that, let's say Kurt Cobain, for example. He could probably go into a cafe in the 90s and do his thing.
Sure.
Or then you put him with electric and the band around him. That's a whole new level, a new thing. Mm-hmm. Your music, the purity within it, makes it, if you've got the voice, the depth of the voice and the raspiness and the storytelling. The storytelling, I think, is where it's at. What you got going on.
Yeah, it's I enjoy it, and like I say, my music's kind of wrapped up in and around traditional country, bluegrass, and southern rock, and I mean all that stuff was raw anyway. So I really enjoy doing solo stuff or just smaller, less produced stuff, just because I feel like that's the way it's supposed to sound anyway.
Sure, yeah. And as far as you said you wrote a lot about alcohol. You got Colorado. No, what was it? Is it cold Colorado beer? What was the lyric in that?
Carolina moonshine,
Tennessee whiskey, and
California red wine, and Colorado beer.
There it is. Yeah. That's good. So you got a lot of content about that. Or something happened that moved to a transition for you for that, or is it just health reasons? Or
it's a little bit of everything. I did it. I did enough of it. I was getting bored with it, really. I just did it enough. Everything I do to the point that it's either bad for me or I have to give up and do something else. And that was definitely one of those things. I was doing it like it was a job.
Sure.
Just I was getting entirely too good at it. I had already made my mind up I was going to stop, and just one morning, I don't remember if I've ever told on a interview type deal or what. I woke up on top of a houseboat with alcohol poisoning and a concussion, and I was like, all right, if I can't do no better than this, I think I probably should stop.
Yeah, that sounds like a hell of a morning.
Yeah, it was a hell of a few months. It took me a little while to get over that. That was weird. Having all that at the same time. It was just something. It came together. I mean, I don't know. It definitely wasn't good for me, but I think that it worked out in the end because, like I said, it finally just pushed. It was just to push over the edge to. Yep, I'm going to stop, and I'll have a drink at the house or something. I'm not scared of it. I wasn't an alcoholic. I was a drunk. I always said. So I enjoyed being drunk. I didn't have to have it and wake up with a shakes or nothing like that. When I would drink, I would drink a lot.
Yeah.
And I had a big time with it and all that stuff. I keep stuff at the house that I've had before and that people's giving me cents, but it's not a problem anymore. I just don't drink anymore.
You think that's changing the way you write content?
Yeah, I think so, because they say you write what you know, and that's why I've got 11 songs on a 13-song album about drinking. That's what I was doing at the time,
Sure.
And so now I'm kind of focusing on living. I've since, like I say, things are kind of going a little bit better, and I'm focusing on actually getting something done too. So I've bought a house and a farm, and I'm trying to be a better person just in general, and that's something that's easier to focus on when I'm not drunk all the time, and I'm trying to make this music thing just go as far as it'll go, whatever direction it wants to go, and so yeah, doing that, I'm focusing on them things, and it's kind of cool, opening my mind up to some different stuff, and thinking about things that I've never thought about before, and things that I'm thinking of things I was thinking about in a different way now. So yeah, it's definitely changed the way I'm writing, and what I'm writing and things like that. So.
Right on. How long do you think your career is? I'd call you professional for sure. How long do you think that's been going on now?
Well, I don't know what a professional is. So I've been doing it for a living for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years now. Kind of, it's been keeping me going. So
from what I understand, you kind of got started into it, and then maybe I think we was doing like a contest of some type, and that led to being on The Voice on season 12 of The Voice.
So yeah, well, kind of both of them. I got kind of, the first one was like a little local thing. They called it Hold Down and Holler.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Some friends of mine, everybody around home is like, oh, you should do this, and I was like, I don't want to, because I never was into the whole competition thing. I just like to sing songs. I like to write songs. And anyway, they kept on. I was like, I will do it if y'all shut up. I was like, I don't want to, but I will do this. And I did it and ended up winning, which was cool. I didn't hurt my feelings that I did win or nothing. I thought it was neat, but I just wasn't. That's the whole competition thing. I feel it's kind of gross to me. I don't know why. It just doesn't. That's not the entertaining part for me. So, and then my manager and his wife, they asked me once if I wanted to go to New York, and I was like, yeah, let's go to New York. I've never been to New York. And then we get
stinks, man.
Yeah, well, we get about halfway through Maryland, and he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go up here and you're gonna try out for The Voice. I'm like, why'd you do this to me? So we get up there, I'm like, all right, I'm here, so we'll try it. And I tried it, and then I moved through the thing, the first little part, and then moved through the next little part, and then, so every time I went to do something, then they flew me out to L.A. the first time, and then the second time. Every time I'd go to do something, I'm like, oh, I'll get this out of the way, and then I just get to go home. And then they put me on the very first episode, and sent me to the house, which I was, at that point,
You was ready?
I was ready to go home.
Yeah.
I'm not the television thing just doesn't, it's not for me. I'll do things, so it's a little different. So I like to be on the stage. I don't care about all the other stuff.
That's cool. And you say you got a farm?
Yeah.
What you got there? Livestock or crops?
Nothing yet. Still working. I've been the first 2 years working on the house, kind of get the yard, getting that grass cut just the way I want it. So I've got the yard's doing what I want. I'm knocking fences out and cleaning lots. And now I'm thinking about the people that had it before had show goats. I'm actually thinking about getting a couple goats.
A show goat?
I have no idea.
It's like a show horse or a show dog?
Yeah, they just take them to like a
livestock
livestock show.
Shit, if I had a show goat, I'd name him Showboat.
Exactly. Showboat the show goat.
Yeah, dude. I really do want goats, man, one day.
They're like lawnmowers, dude.
That's exactly why I wanted goats. I've got a couple lots that are just out of hand, and me and any kind of poison vine don't get along, and I hear that goats will eat poison vine like cotton candy. So
sure,
man, you just gotta be careful if they square up with you. I got a buddy who has a farm and he has goats, and he's taking them to slaughter, and they must have known, and one of them just like squared up and just got him square like right here, knocked him out. Yeah, man. My buddy John, the farmer,
they got
over at the Giving Tree.
Personalities for sure.
Well, yeah. Plus, I think they knew. They were like, "Man, you're gonna eat us." So I'm going out with a bang.
I got to be honest with you, man. I can't finish the video for Drink to Remember because I'm scared that the kid died and the dad is trying to remember the kid. I'm hoping maybe, or I can't finish it, man. I'm hoping maybe that it was from divorce and not death. Do you want to spoiler alert me? Is it death or divorce?
Do you want me to tell you, or you just want to
Just tell me, man, because
Rip off the bandage, bud.
Yeah, go for it.
Somebody dies. I'll put it that way.
Oh shit! Man, that's a heavy song, bro. I have a 5-year-old, so I can't watch nothing like that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this song's good, but it's getting me.
Oh,
I might
What
cry.
about Poltergeist? Can you watch that?
That's fine. Scary girls climbing out of the TV ain't a problem. You know what I
I
mean?
see Lily climbing on the TV.
Yeah, she's mean. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's deep, man. Whoever had produced that director was really cut to the daggone soul, man.
Patrick Tohill directed that. It's kind of funny because of that video. Everybody thinks that that's a sad song, and it's not.
Really?
I started that song years ago. I can't remember what it is. Probably 2012, 13, something like that. I was sitting under a pavilion at noon with what was a full bottle of Bullet Bourbon, and I was about halfway through it. It had been raining and thunderstorming for days, and Slate Creek was it was swelling up, so it was getting the closer and closer it got to the pavilion. I was down there writing, but it was noon and I was drunk, and I was like, well, whatever, it is what it is. So I started this song. I was like, well, when the water gets to the concrete, I'll stop and I'll go home. And started that song, and I was sitting there, I was like, man, I don't know, this song, it just didn't suit me. So I put it up, and a few years later, I was in Nashville with my friends Christopher Monteverdi and Joel Jorgensen, and we were bashing our heads against the wall trying to figure out what we was going to write. And then I was like, well, I got this song. I don't know. Maybe we can do something with it. And so I showed them what I had, and then in like 20 minutes I had those two verses, and I forget who wrote. Well, anyway, we ended up with a verse or a chorus and a bridge, and I was like, oh, what about this? And then they kept aggravating me about it, and they was like, well, let's do something with this. I was like, I don't know, man. It's still not. Then I just don't know about it. And then he's like, well, let's do a work tape anyway. So we did a work tape. And I showed it to my producer, Kyle Mander, and he's like, well, maybe we should probably do something with this. I was like, I don't like this song. And then so on and so forth. He's like, well, after we kind of did a little something. He's like, yeah, let's definitely probably, we'll just record that. And we did. And then everybody wanted me to play it. And then we made the video. So anyway, when I was writing the song, I wrote that song about remembering other times that I've had good times, not necessarily anybody being gone. And it's, like the second verse says, it ain't a woman and I ain't down. If you can believe it, I'm drinking to remember not to drown. I was just sitting there I was by myself, so I was just doing some thinking, drinking.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking of other times, sat there at my buddy Dave's holler, and, having a big time out there. And Mikey J jumped off the pier, and it was in the middle of the night. It's like, he's drunk and it's dark. That's not a good time to swim.
No, it ain't.
Just whatever else we've, just different stuff. And that's what I was thinking about. And then when Patrick, we went to him with the video, with the idea, and he asked what I wanted the video to be about. I was like, man, I did my part. You're the director. I was like, make a video for it. And that's what it said to him. And I think it worked out great. So, so
yeah,
everybody thinks it's a sad song. It's not to me, but I guess to everybody else.
Well, I might make it easier to listen to.
Yeah.
Now I'll keep that one going.
The video definitely takes it down a road.
Yeah, dude. It's far.
It's a different place.
There's one less anxiety for you today, Justin.
That's good, man. I was trying to work my way through that video, and I was like, Lord, I can't. I'm at work right now, checking it out. But I like listening. I'll probably keep your own playlist, man. This is another cool artist that's come through my life here in Winchester that is not a dickhead, and is cool and a good person. So I hope you're going to be successful, and a lot of people are going to know your name. We'll do what we can to make that truth be known. You know what I mean, about your character and songwriting skills.
I appreciate that.
For sure. You got anything in the works that you want to talk about, or
nothing super close, but we're in the writing process for the next album. So
when you say we, do you have a team that you work with, or what's that mean?
Just we is whoever I'm working with at the time. You know, I'm writing right now, and I'll be going back down to Nashville and hooking up with some people that I wrote with on this last album, and hopefully some new cats, and see where that goes. And so just I've got a team. My manager and his wife, Ira and Amby, and then my producer Kyle Manor, and my girlfriend Amanda, and you know, and then everybody else that kind of helps. There's so many people, and that's what I think is so cool about the music business in general. Because I hate business, but the music business is one great big ass family. Even if they don't always get along, there's, you know, everybody's doing the same thing, no matter what level they're on. They're doing the same old crap, just different versions of it. And most of the time, if you ask somebody for help or you ask some advice, it's there. And then even with a yes or no, if it doesn't lead where you want it to, you got a story, you got material to work with. So as long as you're alive and breathing, you got somewhere to go with what you're doing. So I think it's fantastic. But, you know, everybody, y'all are part of my team now. Y'all, you know, we're doing this right here. We're talking. We're having a big time. Folks will see this. Hopefully they'll like what's going on, and so on and so forth. So as everything progresses, the team gets bigger. So we are.
I'm learning every week, every day, man, about this industry. I remember as a little kid fantasizing about either being like a DJ or a performer or a manager or something, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I used to sit and draw up. You know, ever been to Bristol Motor Speedway?
I've never been there, but
me and my buddies the senior year, we was trying to manufacture. We didn't understand what project management was or what the entertainment business was like on this side of it, but we wanted to have a giant country rock, southern rock music festival there that would equal Woodstock, but the nature of the music wouldn't be such that people would burn shit down, because Woodstock 99 had just happened.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, it was a total failure. And I looked at that retrospectively in project management. That was a huge infrastructure failure, Woodstock 99. It just, I can imagine something like that happening in the future between Tyler, Chris Stapleton, and Sturgill, cats like you, and Steelwoods, and all that. I'd love to see something like that happen. Kind of Floyd Fest is kind of that thing, and I think there's a couple other festivals, you know, around the country. One's out west. I forget what that one's called. But
there was Tumbleweed.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So something like that would be great to see down in this area, and you could comprise it of just people from that bubble. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have to go far. Yeah. You know, everything from basically SEC. You know, that would be enough for it. You know, I think it'd be super cool. And when we're coming down through here at the monument or whatever, the one thing I've on my side of the business is it's like placing a bet. Like, so we see the artist's potential, and then we just want them to make as much money as they can off the tickets and the situation, and promise them, we guarantee to make sure that they don't lose out from travel. But our job with Chris is to make great food that they like. It's not like I don't know, second thought fried chicken tenders, you know what I mean, or mozzarella sticks. And they get really good beverages and a place where you feel safe and have fun. Absolutely. You know, and hopefully in a decade, whenever you got a bigger team around you, you know, you'll want to come here just because you feel like it's something you want to do.
Absolutely.
You know, once you get certain place in your professional career, you do things you like doing that you want to do, and you go places. You don't have to do so much just to make ends meet. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. Well, thanks for sitting down with us. We know you got a show coming up, and I think the support act's ready to get it going for you.
Absolutely.
And we're in this vault. You see that little hole gives us oxygen?
Uh-huh.
It's going to funnel blast sound in here in just a second.
Wait.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for being with us. This is my man, Branden Martin, and you'll see this podcast next week. No Concessions 25. Peace.
It's not just the new venue in town. It's a monument to live entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
The Monument, the new premier concert and event venue in Winchester. 2 stories, state-of-the-art sound, delicious food and drink, and the best in live events. The Monument, on the corner of Loudon and Piccadilly in Winchester, and right at the cutting edge of live entertainment. Go to themonumentva.com. That's themonumentva.com for events, tickets, special offers, and more. The Monument. We'll see you at the next show.